Hey, how's it going, everybody? Blake back here at the Florida Keys History and Discovery Center. We're going to be checking out another part of the Mote Marine Laboratory exhibit. And we're going to be taking a look at the behind the scenes. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera here, and we're going to take a venture back into the back room. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a tour of what goes on back here and the type of things that I do to help make sure that our fish tanks stay happy and healthy. To start out here, for each of our 3 tanks, we keep a daily log of what we have going on with the tanks. So we'll take a look here at our lionfish tank and give you a rundown of the different things that I'm recording, making sure that our system is operational, that nothing new has happened in the day. We record how much food that the animals have been fed on a day-to-day basis. And each day I'll check the salinity and the temperature along with our pH. And then we just have some daily maintenance. An interesting thing about having an aquarium is that you have to do water changes. So for the lionfish tank here, we do a water change about twice a week, and that's to help regulate the pollutants in the water, such as fish waste and uneaten food. So what we'll do is we'll take out some water from the tank and we'll put in some clean water. So we'll look here on the 14th, I did a 90-gallon water change. That was about 26% of the water that I removed. And on that same day, I'll clean the decor in the fish tank. And then lastly, day-to-day activities we do is I check a different parameter of the water. So we'll check different levels such as magnesium, phosphate, ammonia, things like that. So let's look another part of the behind the scenes here. So when you first come into the back room, there's these 2 giant water storage vats. And what they do is they house the water that I use to do my water changes. So walking back here, we can take a look at my filtration system. And this is to filter the water before it goes into our storage vats there. So it's just hooked up to a regular spigot over here. And this is a 9-stage filtration system. So this will remove almost everything out of the water, the city water coming in. And this makes it so that we're not introducing any chlorines, any other sediments into the water, so that our fish are nice and happy. Taking a look over here, I've got my fridge and my freezer. We can see this is where we store all of our foods for our animals. So we're feeding things such as mysis shrimp, like we talked in some of the previous videos. We're feeding whole frozen shrimps to our lobster. More mysis shrimp. And then, let's see where it... And then silver sides. That's for our lionfish. Over in the fridge here, we've got all of our coral foods. So corals can not only pull nutrients out of the water column, but they can also photosynthesize. So we've got our suspension foods, zooplankton, phytoplankton, other small things. And it's just a liquid. What we'll do is we'll pour that into the water, and they'll be able to filter it out. And these are the snacks for the fish. Some green seaweed. That's for our tangs, because they are omnivores. They eat both the krill and the algae. So like I was telling you, all of our water comes from city water once it passes through the filters. But what we have to do is, once it's filtered, we have to add the salt. So we will take these boxes, these bags of salt, we'll dump it in there. We'll make sure that it is the right salinity before it is ready to be put into the tank. Let's see what else we got back here. We have, here's a molt of Larry, our lobster. So I held on to this molt. He was, I guess this was in December when he molted. So it is a complete exoskeleton of him, and it was just sitting in the tank. We just pulled it out and we dried it out, and it's pretty cool because now you can see how much he has grown since then. He is a fan favorite here. Alright, what else we got in here? Here are all of our, so like I said, we do tests on the water daily. So here are all of our test kits. A lot of rags. You got to have plenty of rags when you're working with fish tanks. You're always getting your hands wet. All of this down here, so whenever we test our water, say for our Gorgonian tank here, whenever we're testing calcium level, if our calcium level is too low, what we'll have to do is we'll dose some calcium into the aquarium. So we'll take something like this calcium here, and we'll dump that into the tank, the needed level. Alright, let's go over and we're going to take a look underneath one of our tanks, and we can see filtration systems that we have. So we'll take, like we saw last week, our lionfish here. We'll take a look at what we've got going on underneath here. So I'm not too sure if it's going to be too loud for you guys there, but what you might not know is that underneath our tank is a completely separate tank. So this is our filtration, our sump tank. And this houses all of our biological and mechanical filtration. It helps keep our tank water clean. So whenever our water comes down, drains down from up here, it comes into here and it'll filter through. Filter sock back here. We'll go through this skimmer here. This will pull out any fish poop, any fish waste, and it'll just get pumped back up here. Get hit by this UV sterilizer, and that just blasts the water with UV light, killing anything, any free-floating algal cells, anything else free-floating in the water that could be a contaminant before it gets pumped back up into the tank. So there is a lot going on behind the scenes that most people don't see, and that is plenty of work for me to make sure that everything is operational, everything stays clean, everybody stays happy, all the fish are well fed. So I believe we are going to close it out here. Hope everybody is doing well at home. And from everybody here at the Florida Keys History and Discovery Center, we wish you well. I hope you guys stay safe. Thanks.